Hey creatives, and welcome to Book Club Saturday. Today we're talking Mary Shelley, and no, we're not talking Frankenstein. Let's get started. Alright guys, so oftentimes when we say, hey, let's talk about Mary Shelley, the first thing and only thing anybody ever talks about is Frankenstein. And I have to say, when I was thinking about this, I almost did it, but I was like, you know what, let's jump into some other stuff that she's written. She's written other stuff. Maybe stuff that hasn't got as much play, maybe stuff that isn't as famous, but stuff that is equally as entertaining and as good. So let's get started. But before we jump into that, let's talk about some interesting facts about her. So 5 by 5, Mary Shelley. And I'm super excited. I did a little bit of research on this and even found out some stuff that I didn't know. I mean, Mary Shelley is one of my actually favorite writers. So, but even I didn't know some of this stuff. So let's get started. Number 1. So both of her parents were actually writers as well. Her mother was a modern feminist and her father was a philosophy, political writer. So she had it in her blood already. Number 2, she was actually widowed at 24 and only one of 4 children that she had actually lived to adulthood. So that's very sad. It made for a very, I think, made her life very tragic, and so it relayed itself into her writings. Number 3, she died on February 1st, 1851. Number 4, when Frankenstein was first published, it was published anonymously simply because she was a, well, one of the reasons was because she was a female writer. So that's kind of sad that she felt she had to do that. Yeah, I can't even. And then number 5, she was actually disowned because of her relationship with Shelly, and because there's a huge story. And honestly, guys, if you're interested in learning more about her, I'll link to some references below so that you can check them out. Some of them will be affiliate links, but check them out if you're super interested in learning more about her. The whole relationship with Shelly and everything was a very complicated one, and that's why she was disowned. Yeah, so those are 5 facts about Mary Shelley. And now let's jump into the book that I chose to read and review for you guys. And it is Prosperine and Midas, and it's actually 2 different stories written in a more like play-like fashion, and so it's a little bit flowery to read, and if you're not into old style writing, like old literature, it could be a little daunting. It's basically the stories of Persephone and Midas told in a different way, with more in like a Roman setting as opposed to the Greek setting of Persephone and Midas. It was unpublished until 1902. There'd been like manuscripts and stuff around and about, but like published 1902. After Frankenstein, I think in modern terms she would have been treated almost as a one-hit wonder, right? Everything was about Frankenstein, and any of her other writing kind of got pushed to the side. Now, after Frankenstein, a lot more of her writing was much more Victorian than anything else. And so, like I said, flowery prose, wayward love, and like all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure things that were happening in her life tuned into that as well. This book, and you can find it actually in the Kindle store, this one is much more flowery, much more prose oriented than a novel, because it is written in very much like a play-like fashion. One of the coolest things about this is that it actually houses the longest written version of prose that she ever did, and I think that's actually a fact. Like, it's the longest one I've ever read of hers, and it's beautiful. It is split into 2 dramas, like I said. So the first part is Prosperine, which is basically Persephone, and then the second half is Midas, which of course is Midas, but they changed some of the names. They use some of the Roman terminology for gods and stuff. So like I said, it could be a tough read depending on what you like to read. I can't suggest it enough. I loved it. I loved Prosperine a little bit much more than I liked Midas, probably because I actually like the story of Persephone more than I like Midas, so it probably just relayed over to it. You know, so my thoughts on it are pretty much, it's not for everyone. It is, like I said, a little bit written. It is definitely more prose oriented. So if you like poetry, if you're really into reading like old poets and poetry, I think you would be okay suited to read this. I think you would enjoy it to the level that it should be enjoyed. Guys, that is my book review for Prosperine and Midas by Mary Shelley. Check it out. Like I said, I will link to resources if you want to learn more about her, as well as a couple other books written by her. They will be affiliate links. And guys, that's it. Make sure you guys check out the links below. Head over, check out my blog. There's tons more content, as well as follow me on my social media so we can build this relationship on other platforms. If you like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're digging on Book Club Saturday, hit that subscribe button. Remember to turn on the notifications so you know whenever I post a new video. And until next video, creatives, get out there, be creative, enjoy the world of art. I'll see you next time.